In this video, I'll give you the instructions for creating your absent version of the glaciology argument presentation. Actually, it's not an absent version truly. You're just doing the exact same version as us in class. And if you really want to, you can just go down here and there's the assignment and it'll make a copy for you. Or just to stay within the absent assignment, you can open this and then make a copy. Anyways, so after you watch this video, then you will access this argument presentation and either grab your own copy from the assignments or make a copy of this one. For the first slide, all you have to do is replace the red with your name. For slides 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's all the exact same slide. You were doing the same thing for every single one of them. So if you go to this link to Google Earth, it's going to take you directly to Glacial Lake State Park. Glacial Lake State Park is a state park in Minnesota. It's over by Alexandria, kind of. And so if I zoom out and in a bit here. Okay, so if we're in Minnesota, Glacial Lake State Park is right here. We in Walker are right there. So it's like 3.5 to 4 hours away. I really only know about it because I went to school here in Morris. So when you look at the entire state of Minnesota, you can see the topography just on Google Earth. So you can see how there is this like plain right here where it has flatter areas. And then you can also see where it becomes bumpy around here. And that is all evidence of glaciation, so glaciers. And in Glacier State Park, it has been preserved so that all of the hills that were caused by glaciers are as preserved as they can be. And so, like, for example, right here, this is a moraine. You can see it's a big hill. You can kind of imagine how a glacier might have pushed that into that spot. And because of erosion, there are like little dips in the moraine, but that is still a moraine. Now, kettle lakes, when you're looking for a kettle lake in this one, remember that like a big one like this, while it is probably made up of smaller kettle lakes, you can almost see the circles that used to make it up. It is now just a big lake. So you're going to want to actually find like a small circular lake. So you can see the hill patterns here. You can see certain snaky patterns here. There's going to be some that are harder to find than others, but your goal or your purpose for doing this experiment is to zoom in on a landform. So either zoom in on a hill or a kettle lake. And so right here, you can see this shape of a hill. Maybe I want to screenshot that one. So I would zoom in kind of as far as you can without like losing the shape of the hill. Zoom in on it, take a screenshot, and then insert that screenshot into the evidence spot. Now, in order to take a screenshot, I have linked here or inserted a photo. You just hit the control button on your Chromebook and then this weird key that has a box and 2 lines next to it. So you insert that into your evidence spot and then your claim, tell me what it is. Is it a moraine, an esker, a drumlin, or a kettle lake? That's all you have to do in the claim is just enter in which one it is. For evidence analysis, tell me what it is about that landform that makes you think that it is those things, or that is that thing out of these 4. A little pro tip here is that if it's a kettle lake, I should see something about the fact that it has water in it. And I should not see a photo of a hill for a kettle. So for evidence analysis, explain to me the shape, size, general characteristics of whatever landform you're showing me in the photo. And in the justification, tell me how that actually formed. So how did each one of those things form? You, of course, have your glaciology vocabulary to use as a reference, either in your notebooks or you can just look at this Google Slides. But I do not want you to just copy word by word in the evidence analysis. So, for example, if you have a moraine, I don't just want you to tell me that it is like a long hill, a long oval hill or whatever. That's pretty much directly from your vocab words. I want you to try to make it in your own words as much as you can, or like try to describe the hill you're looking at, not the definition of moraine. And then the justification, you can go based off of the vocab words, but make sure that you're understanding it. And so there are 4 slides because there are 4 different types of landforms. You need to find one of each. So 1 slide per landform. And I shouldn't see any repeats of anything else, or I shouldn't see any repeats. And you're not being graded on like the accuracy of it. You're being graded on how legitimate your evidence analysis and justification actually are. So if you show me a Kettle Lake and your evidence analysis is like, this is a circle hill, justification, this is an esker, and then you tell me like it formed with a, I don't know, a river on a glacier. So then you're describing an esker to me. Like those don't make sense together. I can very clearly see that it's a lake, so it shouldn't be a type of hill. So don't stress out too much about getting the landform correct, but do try to find something that you can argue matches the definition of that landform. And then finally, with all of the materials I've given you for this absent assignment, I have also given you a cheat sheet, the glacial landforms. Now, this is a really cool image because not only can you see like a moraine, it's huge, first of all. So you can see that. You can see what drumlins look like. Like I said, they look like poop that got smeared out. You can see an esker being like almost like an inverted river. So it's like up instead of down below. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. An esker is like a river-shaped hill. And so here you can see that moraines sometimes have rivers go through them. You can see a kettle lake. And then ignore the came here. We're not going to search for those because they're not super common. But the other cool thing about this cheat sheet is that if you look here, you can see the esker. And so if you look here in this one, you can see that it used to be a riverbed. If you look here at the moraine, you can see how the moraine was formed. It was pushed up against it. The drumlins were formed by sediment being placed down and then spread out. And then you can see the Kettle Lake, right? You can see that it was a chunk of ice that just kind of plop, got buried a little bit. And so that is super useful if you want to use that when you're looking at it. Also, you could use your sketches from your notes. If you took your notes with me the other day, I think that was this day, absent 12, 1 and 2. Anyways, when you are done with this, you can either share it with me if you're doing like your own version of it, like if you made a copy of it, or just hit turn in on this assignment. This is due for people in class at the end of Wednesday. And so this is the absent assignment for Tuesday and Wednesday.